let's talk about how Bayern can line up going into the next season as we go to secure another back-to-back Bundesliga, as we go to try and finally make a run in the Pokal, go for that UCL, because I swear we're not that far off from competing in the UCL. Let's talk about it. Let's see how we could line up. Let's go over who the spine of the team is and where there can be rotation. I already had some players loaded up here because I don't want to spend too much time talking about them. But yeah, Manuel Neuer, starting goalie. I don't think there's anyone really out there that we could replace with him right now. I think what you saw from him at the Club World Cup this past month, I think if you're not blind, it shows that he is able to still play at the top level. Call me delusional, but I think he's still up there with some of the world's best. I truly believe that. I definitely think he's on Alisson's level, Donnarumma's level. For me, maybe the most outstanding goalie is Courtois. For me, that's probably the most outstanding goalie. I wouldn't say Neuer is the same as Courtois, because Courtois' shot stopping and reflexes is just still prime right now. But in terms of overall game, Neuer is at Thibaut Courtois' level in terms of passing out of the back and all those facets of the game that he popularized. He's up there. So Manuel Neuer, I'm happy with him at goal. Peter can stay another year. And honestly, I know Jonas Ulrich came to the club and he was impressive. Any Bayern fan knows that he's not ready. And any Bayern fan knows that we should still be looking for a true successor to Neuer. Because yes, Jonas Ulrich came, and respect to him, and he played a role last season coming from Köln, but I just have a feeling that there's someone better out there. And until we find it, there's no need to replace Neuer, in my opinion. Right back, I think it should be Leimer. Now, if Leimer's playing badly, we have plenty of options. And I think second string to right back is probably Josip Stanisic. Well, it is Josip Stanisic. Now, I say Leimer should start, and I think people underrate Leimer. I don't think he's that far off some of the best right backs in the world, even though his trade is as a midfielder. I don't think he's too far off. Like, obviously, Achraf Hakimi is just a level above him right now, right? But in terms of comparison to the other right backs across Europe, there's not that big of a discrepancy, and I don't think people realize that. He's a good defender. He has an engine. He could run all game. He has a pretty good relationship with Michael Olise on the right side. The only big negative I would say to Leimer's game is that sometimes he is caught out of position, and it kind of screws us and puts us in uncomfortable scenarios in games. But to be honest, man, Leimer, I guess that, and he doesn't have world-class deliveries into the box. Like, if we're comparing him and Joshua Kimmich, it's night and day. Joshua Kimmich as a right back is the best right back in the world. I don't care what anyone says. He just refuses to play there, and I support it. I think he's a world-class midfielder, so it is what it is. And, behind him, Josip Stanisic is there. I feel bad for Josip Stanisic because I feel like he's good enough to make an impact on this team, but all throughout this back line, it's just people have kind of established themselves. So it's going to be tough for him. If people get injured, that'll be his time to shine and make a name for himself and get into the starting 11 in our company. But yeah, Leimer as our right back. The center back duo is quite easy to predict here. And I do think this should be the center back duo going forward. Jonathan Tah and Upamecano. And I think from the limited game time we saw with Upa and Tah at the Club World Cup, I was honestly genuinely impressed. I was impressed. I wasn't expecting. I was happy with the signing of Jonathan Tah, but I just didn't know what to expect because I'm not going to lie. If you are a real Bundesliga fan, Jonathan Tah's emergence is kind of out of nowhere. He was always that young German center back maybe 8 years ago that wasn't getting his chance for the national team, wasn't establishing himself. When he would get a chance for the national team, he wasn't really that impressive. But under Xabi Alonso, his confidence went up. His IQ went up. His level of play went up. He was more effective in his aggressive style of defending. And it complemented Upamecano very well at the Club World Cup. And I think there's a lot of potential there. The only downside is his speed. But, when someone like Alphonso Davies is back into this team after his lineup, there's someone there to maybe pick up any mistakes or any gaps left open by Jonathan Tah's lack of speed. I don't even think he's necessarily slow. He's just not as fast as other top center backs like his partner Upamecano, who's rapid. He's a rapid center back. So I think also Tah really complements Upamecano well because these two are very aggressive, and sometimes with Kim at center back, the issue I saw sometimes with Kim and Upa were that they weren't necessarily on the same page. So one of them wanted to sometimes when we were pushing up the field and trying to win possession back, one of them wanted to be aggressive and one of them wanted to stay back a little more, and that would create a gap between the two defenders and also a gap behind the center back that would try to be more aggressive than the other. So I thought we saw from Upa and Todd the Club World Cup that they had a better understanding of when to be aggressive with each other and when to push that lineup. Not to say anything bad about Kim. And in terms of center back coverage, I'm happy about it, man. I really am. People are doubting Kim and Jay. I wouldn't be surprised if Kim and Jay eventually makes his way back into the starting 11 over Jonathan Todd, because I do think Kim at his best, he's a fucking good center back, dude. He is. It's just those mistakes in his game. And honestly, this last season, I know he had them, but I always take it with a pinch of salt because we were criminally overworking Kim. His legs were toast. His Achilles tendon was one bad step away from snapping in half. So I hope he stays at Bayern. He would be a great backup center back option. I think if Kim and Jay stays at Bayern and he tries to earn his way back into this team, he would be one of the best backup center backs any team has in the world. Along with him, Hiroki Ito never really established himself last year because of his injury, but another great option to have as a center back, and Josip Stanisic as well. So I'm happy with our center back. And honestly, overall, our defense, I'm very happy with it. And although he's injured right now and he isn't supposed to make his return until November, I'm kind of thinking of how this Bayern team will look and how they could line up at full strength going into this next season. And obviously, Alphonso Davies is the out-and-out starting left back. I feel like people are already forgetting because of recency bias, and he got injured back in March. People are already forgetting how good of a season Alphonso Davies was having. I mean, the leaps and bounds he made, in his defensive game this season was amazing. And I said it throughout the season and in my end of season recap, it really feels like Alphonso Davies took the role of leader in this team. And especially since he just extended his contract until 2029 or 2030, whenever it is, he is looking to establish himself as a leader in this Bayern team, in this back line. And I can't wait for him to come back. This is a pretty good back line, in my opinion. It's pretty good. Like, people will argue we could do better at right back, but for what Company wants to do, for what Company wants to play, I'm pretty happy with it. And in terms of left back options, I hope a guy like Adam Asnu doesn't leave and stays at Bayern. He would be a great option off the bench. We have that bum Rafael Guerrero. I'm over him. I wish we would sell him, but it's not going to happen. And Hiroki Ito and Stanisic can both also play left back. Leimer can play left back. So we have cover all around the back line. So I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. So let's go into midfield. In midfield, I don't care what anyone says, bro. Joshua Kimmich is a midfielder. He's a world-class midfielder and a world-class right back. And people who don't realize that, I really don't get it. I really don't get it. Seriously. And the only evidence people can really give me towards Joshua Kimmich being a detriment to this team in midfield is because they take Thomas Tuchel's season from now 2 seasons ago, where towards the end of the season, he pushed Kimmich to right back and was playing a Leimer and Goretzka midfield pairing, or Leimer and Pavlovic midfield pairing, and it was working excellently. And people will say, there you go, Kimmich should be a right back. He's not good enough for midfield. I'm sorry. Thomas Tuchel's style of play is so completely different, so much more conservative to what Company wants to do. And Joshua Kimmich, I thought last season, bro, he was great. I thought the whole season he was basically brought down by whoever his midfielding partner was. At the beginning of the season, when it was Pavlovic and he was in form before his collarbone injury, the midfield looked fine. The midfield looked great, in my opinion. We were building something special there. He gets injured, Goretzka gets back into the team. And actually, Kimmich and Goretzka had a good spell together. But again, in the big games against an Inter, Leon Goretzka, and I swear people are not seeing it, he is weighing Joshua Kimmich down because he goes in and tries to recklessly tackle. He always leaves his position in midfield and leaves gaps the size of Mia Khalifa in that midfield. And Joshua Kimmich is always trying to compensate for his lack of defensive awareness, which affects what he's able to focus on in the attack. So I'm a Joshua Kimmich apologist. I believe in Joshua Kimmich in midfield. And honestly, when both are in form, these two are great, bro. These two are great. When both are in form, Joshua Kimmich and Pavlovic work very well together. Genuinely, they work very well together. So This should be the starting midfield going into the season. I hope Company doesn't give Goretzka another go, try something there. Just let Pavlovic and Kimmich grow the partnership and start in midfield together. And this is strong, dude. This is strong. They complement each other very well. They're both good defensively and attacking wise. Don't let people change your mind, bro. Joshua Kimmich is a fucking right back and one of the best right backs. Obviously, he's a good defender. He could defend in the midfield, and I've seen him do it all the time. I've seen him do it all the time. And Pavlovic himself, young gun. I was worried about him since coming back from his injury, but he was excellent at the Club World Cup. And I don't know if you guys could see my text, but he was excellent at the Club World Cup, and I think he's going to be back this season. So I'm happy with it. And then obviously right wing, Olise. What can I say? The season he had for Bayern, it's undeniable. He is top 3 right winger in the world. I think from beginning of the season to the end, he could be the best right wing in the world based off last season. It's just, Salah had a crazy first half of the season. Lamine Yamal was doing madness in the Champions League knockout stages. So I don't know. I think he's up there. He's world-class. He's a world-class right winger. And I think we have multiple world-class players in this team. Alphonso Davies is a world-class left back. Upamecano is a world-class center back. Neuer is a world-class goalie. Kimmich is a world-class midfielder. I don't care what anyone said. This is a good spine right here. Neuer, Davies, Upa, Kimmich, Olise. It's a good-ass spine. And Olise, like I said, his partnership with Leimer is very underrated. These two find each other in spaces very well when they're trying to build in the attack, when Leimer overlaps, when Olise overlaps Leimer. They have a good partnership here. They do. So, Olise right wing. There's no, Gnabry, Coman, ride that bench. Ride that fucking bench because you're not at Olise's level. You're nowhere near it. On the left wing. Now we'll get to left wing because that is a position that honestly needs to be filled. But obviously our striker, when we're at our best and everyone's fit, it's going to be Harry Kane. I call Harry Kane world class. It's just this season, man, I really need those big game performances. Because what you did against Inter in that first leg is just not good enough. And honestly, at the Club World Cup, in that PSG game, dude, it wasn't good enough. You had 2 or 3, you had good opportunities in that game, and you just could not put the ball in the back of the net. And that miss against Inter in the first leg in the Champions League, again, huge ass miss that changed the whole tide. It changed the whole momentum and direction of the tie. So Kane, he is another world-class player on this team, but I'm really going to look at him in the big games. I don't care if he doesn't score against Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, Mainz. I don't care, Augsburg. I'm going to be looking at Harry Kane in the big games, in the knockout stage games, in the Pokal games. That's when I'm going to be looking at Harry Kane. I'm not going to judge him too much, honestly, on the small games. I need him to show up in the big games. And I know he can do it because in that Leverkusen tie this last season, when everyone was counting us out, when everyone said Leverkusen has our number, 95% of YouTube thought Leverkusen would beat us. He put on 2 man of the match performances in around of 16 in the Champions League for us. So I believe he can do it. I trust in Kane, but if he doesn't do it this season, I'm losing patience. I really am. And obviously, he just got the brutal injury, but at our best, when everyone's fit, Musiala's there, world class, in my opinion. Who's a better? I mean, he's definitely a different kind of number 10. He's not your standard number 10. He's not someone who relies on just his passing game to create opportunities. He's someone who relies on his superb world class dribbling to create opportunities. So I think for me, he's the most entertaining 10. He's best number 10 in the world. Is debatable, but I think he's up there. I think he's world class. And when he's back from his injury next year, he's going to come, and I'm telling you, 2026 is going to be Musiala's year. But honestly, I want to let's talk about who will play in Musiala's position when he's gone. And honestly, how do I freaking get rid of him? Listen, I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of him. But who will play in Musiala's position in the number 10? I know a lot of people are saying Gnabry, Olise come into the middle as the number 10. Who knows if we sign Voltemata, will he play number 10 or will he play striker and Kane play the number 10? I think at the number 10, Bayern should let Tom Bischoff have a go at the number 10. One of the best up-and-coming midfielders in Germany, had a great season at Hoffenheim this past year. this past league season. Give Tom Bischoff a go at the number 10. If it doesn't work, he's just not ready. But he has the quality to succeed at Bayern. But give Tom Bischoff a go at the number 10 and see what he can do, because he's a bright young baller. He's not necessarily anywhere near the profile of Musiala, but I think he could do a job there, especially with Thomas Muller gone as well. So, listen, this lineup is looking strong. I like this lineup. I like this lineup. When everyone's on form, it's freaking good. Trust me. And then this is the position. Now, left wing, who we're going to sign, blah, 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 blah. It's a whole conversation. Will we get the deal done with AC Milan for Leao? Is Malik Fofana now on our list? I saw us linked to Trossard by some trashy-ass sources. I'm not sure if that's true. Luis Diaz, I don't want him, but are we going to get him? I don't know. So for now, if we don't sign anyone, which better not be the case, it would be Coman starting at the left. It would be Coman starting on the left wing. But, you know, this is a position where it's very crucial for Bayern, and I talked about it going into the transfer window. It's very crucial for Bayern to bring a top guy here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Leao, a name everyone knows. A Malik Fofana from Lyon, who everyone's hyping up. That could be someone. Nusa from Leipzig, he's starting to gain some hype as well. Bring him in. It doesn't have to be a blockbuster big name signing. It doesn't have to be. It just has to be someone quality. When Olise came to Bayern, it was a big signing, right? But no one was saying this is a blockbuster signing. It wasn't until he performed and had a world-class season for Bayern was it a blockbuster signing. Same thing here. It doesn't have to be a big boy name. It just has to be a quality baller. Malik Fofana, Leao, whoever needs to be the right purchase here. And that's where the board and everyone working in the transfers this summer has to be looking at the left wing position, maybe bringing some right back cover, maybe bringing backup striker as well. Someone like a Nick Voltemato who can play 10 striker or even the left wing as well. So yeah, that's how, if no signings are made, this is how we're going to be lining up going to the next season. I'm confident about it when everyone's fit. Now, obviously, Musiala is out until January next year. Davies is out until October, November time. But when everyone is back and fit, this is, I think, the best lineup Bayern can put out there. And I really think it's not that far off from – I think this is a team that could win the Champions League if everyone is on their game. I think so. Maybe at the left wing, if we bring in a Leao or something, I'll be even more confident in that statement. But going off performance, I mean, Leimer, these guys have been doing it. And it's been the attack that let us down this last season and for the last 5-6 seasons, honestly. So I'm looking at the attack to put away their chances, especially in the big games. This is how Bayern will line up next season. I don't see how Vincent Kompany can stray away from anything other than this when everyone is fit. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how he lines up when everyone is back from injury. But yeah, it's been your boy Hokage. I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree, disagree? Am I an idiot? Let me know. I love constructive criticism. I have a humiliation kink. Just kidding, I don't. People who have that are weird. I'm not king shit. You know what? Let's end the video. I'm so bad at it. Outros. Bye.